Hey guys, what's up? This is Dingo Crikey here with another commentary video, this time on a general Transformers discussion topic. If you guys are interested in commentary that pertains more specifically to Transformers 4 Age of Extinction, please check out my playlist and channel, where I also have a number of Transformers stop motion videos as are previewed here. But for this video, I'm going to be discussing whether or not all the Transformers series can be connected. Basically, whether or not there is a way to fudge them all into the same continuity. Initially, this isn't a topic I would think about, as in my opinion, the answer is pretty definite. But over time, I've talked to different Transformers fans who actually have differing opinions on the matter, and I've kind of put myself in the place of a lot of new fans who are coming into it because I've been looking into the Gundam franchise recently. Finished up watching Mobile Suit Gundam 00 a few months back, and I was just kind of confused about how that timeline works. You know, are all the shows connected? Are they a different universe? That kind of thing. So I figured maybe Transformer fans, a lot of the new ones, have that question too. So I figured why not do a video on it. So, for fans who don't know, I think it's important to note that officially the Transformers series aren't really connected. It's a multiverse where certain shows occur within the same universe, but mostly everything is counted as its own timeline, its own storylines, that kind of thing. But there are a few series that do occur within the same timeline, or at least in some way they're supposed to. Technically, Transformers Generation 1, the original series, Beast Wars, and Beast Machines all occur in the same timeline. Now, some people like to annex Beast Machines from that because it kind of screwed with the history a little bit. They didn't like the development with some of the characters, but generally that's the rule. And then you have the Unicron Trilogy, which composed of Armada, Energon, and Cybertron. But even within that, Cybertron is a big stretch to connect to the other two just because it seems to reset some characters to where they were as far as personality and development to the beginning of Armada. The universe is different. The way minicons is used and their significance in the universe is different. So Cybertron's a bit of a stretch, and technically, I don't believe in Japan, Galaxy Force was supposed to be connected to Superlink or Micron Legend. So Cybertron's even arguable. And then Energon, I don't know. Me as an Armada fan, I don't like to think of them as connected because it really, really screwed up some of the Armada characters, and it kind of didn't explain a lot of things, and it was all around just a bad show. Outside of that, most of the Transformers series are just independent. They don't have any connection officially to the other series. Take Robots in Disguise, nothing connects to that. Animated, never got a follow up show. And Prime, well, I think it's in the talks that it might get a follow up series. It did have the movie and that kind of stuff, so. And then obviously all the movies are connected. Even that could be a stretch between some of them because Michael Bay has no idea what he's doing. But the question here is, can all of these Transformers series, with the exception of the movies, let's just leave them out of the equation, basically all the Transformers shows from Generation 1 to Transformers Prime, can in some way they all be forced into the same universe and made coherent? Do they all work in this same universe? Can they be thought of to all occur together? Some people like to make the argument that it can, while other people are very adamant that there's no way all the series can work together like that. My opinion is that no matter what way you look at it, there is no way the Transformers series can all be connected. Even for fun purposes of just putting them all together, I think it's really, really hard. As we see in not even all the Transformers series that are supposed to officially align really make sense together. So I'll explain my reasons here. First up, let's take the timelines. Almost each series has a different timeline of its own that doesn't really correspond to other series. Let's take Transformers Armada and Transformers Prime. Just look at one aspect from both of those series' timeline. Okay, Unicron. In Transformers Armada, Unicron is basically the Chaos Bringer as he traditionally is and all that shebang. But he's supposed to be this thing that floats throughout space, and basically the original Transformer that created the Minicons. Whereas in contrast, in Prime, he did some of that same stuff, but there was no mention of the Minicons, and he is basically supposed to be the core and the foundations of our planet Earth. So right there, you've got a huge flaw with a big character like Unicron that just doesn't make any sense. It's really hard to even, for fun, connect those two timelines. I mean, I don't really know how you would put that together. Also, in most of the Transformers series, we have Transformers going to Earth, maybe they're first in disguise, then they reveal themselves to the humans, or like in Transformers Armada, they stay in disguise throughout the entire series. So why would this happen that sometimes they reveal themselves to the humans and then the humans just lose their memory again? Are they like stuck in this time-space continuum? Does someone keep running through the Guardian of Forever's time portal like Dr. McCoy did and screwing up time? It's just really hard to explain what happens there. The timelines are totally different. So I think that sums that section up, why they can't really work together. Secondly, characters. The characters in the series oh man, they're so different. Okay, take Starscream from Transformers Animated and him from Transformers Cybertron. Are you going to try to tell me that those two are the same characters? Yes, they're both egomaniacs and power hungry, but the way they go about it is just completely different. Animated Starscream's basically a total coward who never really accomplishes anything, and Cybertron Starscream's like cold and calculating and becomes a really important part in the story. There's just no way to connect them. I mean, you could do this with tons of different characters. Like Prime RC or G1 RC, they don't really seem similar. Wheeljack and Armada and Wheeljack and G1, they're nothing alike. I mean, you could try to say that these are all different characters with the same names, and that makes the argument a little bit more valid. But are you going to say there's, okay, a different Megatron and a different Starscream, and in this case, this second Megatron also has a subordinate like Starscream, and this Starscream also rebels against him? I mean, it just doesn't work. They never make mention of past versions of him. I mean, it's just not really probable or possible. And thirdly, just the rules of the universes are different. And what I mean by that is take a show like Transformers Animated. Basically, would have characters get their heads knocked off and they could still survive, like their head would bounce around like bulkheads or something like that. Whereas in a show like Transformers Armada, it never really is completely explained, but we're always giving the idea that a decapitation would almost certainly kill a Transformer. There was a big emphasis put on the spark being the life of the Transformer. As far as other things, like Transformers can take different amount of damage in different shows. Take the G1 movie where basically you have Transformers being killed out of 3 shots. In Transformers Energon, a single character could basically withstand a battle station's firepower and come out almost unscratched. Also, things like warp gates are handled differently. Like in Transformers Animated, a space bridge is a very big thing, kind of like in Transformers Prime as well. It's like building a space bridge is a huge task. They put a ton of emphasis on that. In Transformers Armada, they just kind of go through space, open, I don't know, warp gates through space, something like that. And there's no real emphasis put on it. It's not really treated like a hard task at all. I mean, if they're all connected and they're working on this space bridge forever in Transformers Prime and just hacking away at it, why aren't they just like, hey, why don't we get that technology that Megatron from back in 2002 used? That worked pretty good for traveling through space. You see what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work that well. I mean, I could probably go on for a while about these 3 main aspects and also pick up other things that just don't make sense and that there's no way to make sense of in connecting the Transformers series. Even if you try to say, well, this series occurred at a different time, or like Armada was made before Prime, but maybe it occurs after it, something like that, it's really a stretch. There's so many things you can't really make sense out of. After watching almost every Transformers series all the way through, I can't really see any way to connect them all together. Still, they're certain people who are really convinced that they do all occur in the same universe. There's this one guy I knew a few years back who I could talk to till I was blue in the face, and he was just convinced that, oh, the Transformers are always losing their memory, or Wheeljack from Armada is the same guy from G1, and he's like, why doesn't that make sense? And I'm trying to tell him it's because they're different shows. They're done by different directors, creators. Some of them have probably never even watched the previous shows. But anyways, I decided it was kind of a fun video anyways. I hope that cleared up any ideas for newer fans of if the series are connected or not. And maybe the universe of Transformers seems a little less confusing now. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. If you guys agree or disagree, you can leave that in the comments section, as well as any theories you might have on how certain Transformers series or all of them can be connected. And also, remember to check out my other commentary videos and my Transformers stop motion videos. That's it for this one. Have a good one, guys.